Elizabeth and Durban. No one was hurt. This report has been compiled under the South African government's reporting restrictions.
Within hours of South Africa's censors approving Cry Freedom, bombs exploded at 3 cinemas which were due to show it. No one was hurt in the blasts, but they were enough to wreck the prospects for the film's distribution. The immediate government ban was met with anger and dismay.
They don't want us to see our hero, Steve Biko. We want to see him, we want to know what happened in the past life.
I want to see the movies, how is it, and how have they do it, and how they kill our brothers, our prophets, all about the black struggle.
But in other black townships, hundreds lined up, unaware of the ban, to see the film, though in the end, only a few were able to witness the graphic depiction of violent unrest in the country's recent history, scenes never before shown to a South African audience. The government said it stopped the film because it quoted the author Donald Woods, whose words are banned in South Africa. A spokesman later made clear they also feared it would provoke bloodshed.
We don't need that sort of meddling in South African affairs. How many people has to die before Richard Attenborough is satisfied?
And despite the approval of the critics, Steve Biko's own friends were sceptical. Peter Jones, the last colleague to see Biko alive, said it didn't do him justice.
The fact that Steve is not even properly explained in the movie means that the movie makers took a hell of a lot of cheap options out in order to make or attempt to make a very attractive movie.
But those white South Africans who did see the film reacted with enthusiasm and emotion.
Well, I think it makes a white person think.
And how did you react to the movie?
I found it extremely emotional. In fact, it brought me to tears.
It's something the South African people need to see. I mean, the government banning it like this as if they've got something to hide, which just goes to show that some of their policies are up the pole. It's ridiculous.
You knew what the government always is, makes you want to fight even more. Speechless.
However, police later moved into cinemas throughout the Republic to seize the film. The few South Africans to have viewed it today may well be the last to do so in their own country. Kevin Dunn, News at 10, Johannesburg.
It was this scene in Cry Freedom which is thought to have particularly incensed the South African regime. It depicts the true story of a demonstration in 1976 by Soweto schoolchildren, which ended with the police opening fire, killing 700 children. Tonight, the film's director reacted to the ban.
The fact that this ban has occurred in South Africa, which I fear an awful lot of people thought would happen, means that, yet again, attempts to tell the South African public the truth about apartheid has failed. And I think that is an enormous tragedy.
The film tells the story of the friendship between the white journalist, Donald Woods, and the black consciousness leader, Steve Biko.
Your parents try, but in the end, you only get the education the white man will give you.
Biko died while in police custody in 1977. His inquest became a focus for further discontent, with Donald Woods challenging the official line that Biko starved himself to death. Cry Freedom portrays the subsequent police harassment of Mr. Woods and his family.
You think you're a big editor who can get away with anything?
I think I'm a man who's found 2 intruders in his backyard.
It's a film which all South Africans, whether they're for or against the film, will know to be true. And that's the power of the film. It's a true story. And it's been seen by, you know, so many people in the rest of the world, and there's the feeling that they would like to see it themselves.
It's likely the ban will now encourage even more people to see Cry Freedom outside South Africa.
The shopping centre in Benoni is at its busiest on Saturdays. The bomb exploded inside a crowded Wimpy bar, injuring dozens of people. Some inside, many passing windows blown out by the blast.
People start screaming. I just saw people lying all over the Wimpy bar and outside, you know. It's injured, full of cuts and blood.
I was turning around and serving the customer, went to pick up the flour. I heard a bomb, no noise, big noise. And I was starting to run because the glasses was falling on top of my back.
At one stage, police seized a man and led him away, apparently believing he was the bomber. But a short time later, he was released. This latest explosion heightens both fear and anger in South Africa, particularly among white people. Bomb attacks have increased sharply in recent months, and civilians are more and more the targets. Although no one has admitted placing this bomb, the ANC is widely suspected. Some leaders of the ANC, the guerrilla organisation fighting white rule, have called for more direct attacks in predominantly white areas. The senior ANC leadership in exile in Zambia insist deliberate attacks against civilians breach the official policy of seeking military targets. But recent bombings suggest that policy is widely ignored.